Our attempt is to probably share knowledge in the community and pass it so that it can benefit all the members, and of course we would request you as well to pass the word and get more people who think they want to do something in the startup ecosystem. Alright, so with this thought, I would like to formally thank all of you for being here on this rainy day, and without further ado, let's start with introductions.
I am here today for this event to learn more about AI and how can I make my life easy using AI. Thank you.
I have a community of my own which is called the Management Factory. So I help companies with branding, marketing, and strategy. I'm also an author. I've written a book called Seeking Validation. I'm also studying right now, so I'm pursuing my doctorate from Rushford Business School in marketing.
I am a student.
I'm here to network. I'm here to learn what it takes to be a founder, co-founder somewhere in the near future. Thank you.
More networking with the people, right people, and also explore opportunities. Any new, what are the coming up, what AI, what startup ecosystem is doing in India.
My agency helps business owners to scale their businesses, create their personal brand on social media, and sell their products online through paid advertising.
Makes sense.
The way I see AI, it's pretty simple. We as humans have seen multiple inventions happening, right? After internet, can anybody tell what was the last post-internet? What was the biggest invention that you have seen? But to understand AI, we will have to learn what machine learning or what data science is, right? It's nothing but science of applying maths and then using it to forecast the future or generate something which human brain does exactly. Artificial intelligence. This was again a word that was coined to make it sound exciting. But ultimately what it does is gives any machine the capability to think like human.
What are the limitations of this AI? First, what are the cautious note you will like to give on that AI?
You have signed an NDA to begin with. No, but really, see, with every technology, there are certain disadvantages that you would, come with, right? A lot of people are talking about what content your AI or a chatbot is giving is something which we have written in our book, or this was a publication which we had published in a newspaper on so and so date, right? This is bound to happen. We as humans also do certain things because we have got ourselves inspired by somebody, right? I don't know, the way you have grown your beard, is it natural or you like somebody, who have had similar beard or whatever. Certain things which we do, we kind of inspire ourselves from somebody, right? Which is what artificial intelligence is also doing. It has read that article which was available at some point in time, learned from it, and in one of the 1,000 responses that it is giving, it is bound to use it and give you that response, right? The beauty is it'll give you a new response every time. Even if you ask the same question today, tomorrow, it'll give you a new response. But where did it learn from? It's from the training that it was given, right? Which includes the book or the newspaper article, right? So security is one concern which everybody asks. They are trained on content which is publicly available. When you say it is copyright, you have to ensure that it is not available publicly. That's one way to safeguard your content, right? That's your IP. If it is a book, can you give me an example? What are the possible threats that you see? Would it be a book? Would it be code? Would it be
Slogan as well, I can say. Slogan, yeah, something like that in any kind of statement in the article as such. Because I write about the strategies every time.
okay?
Some strategy, I validate from the chat particularly statement or the basically content. So where that can be challenged. It can be taken from any author's books, or it can be taken from any discussions as such.
Got it. So there is a safety feature called as ensure at least the 150 characters. It's currently at 150 characters that you set. Maybe in the future we would reduce it to whatever value. But there's a safety feature which ensures that if you are, whatever the content it is generating, if there is a match of at least 150 characters between what it has generated and what is publicly available, it will not show you that. That's a setting that you can ensure. Because you're trying to ensure whatever you are generating and receiving as an output is not straight away coming from public, and you don't get caught as a copyright, right? So that can be achieved.
So the government of India has actually created a portal for all of us, but we are not aware about it. Find different use cases related to AI. For example, if you go to fintech.
Talk about my son. He is 4 now, but he started when he was two and a half-ish. Okay, but all that he got started with was hearing from us, right? So we were the ones who were feeding him some language, whatever it takes to start speaking. We fed him the data, correct? Inserted all the data that we had inserted into his brain, and after a certain point, he started giving back response.
Okay.
But it is his own generation capability that he is using. But for that, learning was required, which he did hearing all of us, right? So that he is the chat GPT who roams around in a house.
Quite a very good example.
Right? So all the models that you use, that we are providing you as of today. There was a time when people used to build their own model with the data that they have. Okay, that's the ancient time I'm talking about. All the hype that we're getting as of today is because we have cut short that window of creating a model. Now everybody is using the model straight away, which is available. You hear llama, meta, peta, all that words, right? All those are models which big companies have created, so that people can straight away go to those models and start questioning them. But when it is the model answering you, the model is not giving the same answer to everybody who comes with the same question. That's the beauty, which defines the power of generation. It's generating. Put a Google search, search the same keyword, it'll give you the same response. Do you know why? Because it's not generative, it's just looking into the search index database that it has. There is also one more term which kind of vector database and its relation, but it would be non-layman if I introduce that. But generation is the capability, big capability that it comes with, right? Which is where every response that you get, it has to generate it. Hence, generative GPT.
Makes sense. Thank you so much.
So if I write, how's the weather today? A simple line will come, it is raining today. But how I start my conversations is talk to ChatGPT. Develop some kind of bonding between each other. That might sound very foolish at this moment, but that has worked for me. I always open ChatGPT and write like, hey ChatGPT or hey GPT, how are you doing today? It will just give you the response that I am AI and I do not have any feelings. Then I write, my day is going good, but I want your help in doing some stuff. And then it will also reply to me. And then I'm thinking about stepping out today. How's the weather today? Then it will tell me the weather, but it will also tell me some precautions to take. Take your umbrella with you, wear the raincoat, do this, do that. If it is not very urgent, please do not step out. So I feel the way you ask questions, of course. For example, if I need to write a social post for my social media today, I will give it some kind of context. For example, about today, how I will use ChatGPT today evening when I have some content from the eChai event. I'll tell it about like today I spent most of my day at an event called eChai Ventures, maybe the AI day. Then I will also send it the link because now it is also able to read the link. So here is some more detail about the event, and when it will click or maybe like go to the link, it will also get some information about the event like eChai Ventures and what happened there. It was a networking event and stuff like that. Then I'll also tell it about here were the speakers and these are the key takeaways I took from the event. So it is not totally about like I went to an event, the topic was this, write me a post, not like this. This is totally like a copy paste thing and you are just going out for a simpler answer. My way is I have my own idea, I have my own key points, I know what all things I need to include in my caption. I will just use ChatGPT to maybe make it more beautiful, like of course make it more optimized and like make it more beautiful by adding hashtags and emojis and like by using better language. So I use ChatGPT to facilitate the process and not as a helping hand that it will do the job for me.
how I use ChatGPT is I'll just open it up. Hey GPT, these are the issue or these are the thing I wanna get done with. Just help me out, right? And your way is completely different. So does that really play an impact in the quality of content it generates?
Definitely yes. So there have been times when I'm like in a hurry and I'm like ये blog को promote करना है मेरे को आज जाके. So I'm like I have published this blog. This is the landing page. Please help me promote this on social media. And the content will be so blunt. And if I just talk to it and if I write, can you please help me write a more engaging content, a more crisp content? Can you please make it more concise and everything? So if you use like polite words also, I know it's an artificial intelligence thing, but I know how to treat that thing. If I also, hey, can you give me that water bottle?
Yeah,
Can you please pass me the water? You will also be, yeah, sure. So something like that. And definitely it does respond. And if you can just also try, like, how's the weather today? Question mark. It's raining outside.
So someone was here was very rightly comparing humans to AI, as in how a child takes in information. So we should also see how exactly are we taking information from the world. It's through 5 sensory organs we have. Now think about it in terms of AI. We have eyes. We see the world 360 degrees in real time, and AI cannot process anything more than a static image at the moment. There is no capability in the digital world that can replicate a sense of smell. Nothing can do that. Even the voice, yeah. So you can give voice inputs to ChatGPT maybe, but none of these have a sense of touch. Even the Tesla robots and whatever we have, there is no sense of touch. And synthesizing these 5 sensory organs, information from these 5 sensory organs, and processing this in real time is not what AI can do right now. And when eventually we develop these sensory capabilities in the digital domain, as Sam Altman has stated that we need probably a couple of $1 trillion to have that kind of processing capability. We can replicate human brain. And we do not have $1 trillion to invest in AI and AI research right now. So it's more of a fear. It's a fear of the unknown more than any a logical sense. But yeah, the realistic videos and deep fakes are indeed scary. So yeah, that's my perspective.
Thanks everyone. I think I have some different perspective on this whole AI thing. I think on this perspective that whenever such technology comes, it consumes the power, right? It is not driven by such like from the air. So when you try these kind of models, you need such sort of hardware to work for those models. Right? You can see in the video that they are connected with very large set of wires which powers them, right? So anything which requires that sort of processing kind of human intelligence will require a lot of energy. So energy is the key center of every innovation which requires surpassing of the human intelligence. So the bottleneck obviously will come, and we should not be worried that much like the AI will take away all this stuff, because AI can be driven by just simple 4 to 5 companies like Apple, Google, Microsoft, and because those companies have resources, they can invest and they have this power capacity. Like they can get from the governments, they can get from the they are in the USA, and USA has very big capacity of the power generation.
So the core point of everything is data aggregation, right? Everybody's data is important right now. I'll give you a very fine example. So Adobe, everybody uses Adobe, right? So Adobe used a AI model for its the whole system and software. Turns out that whenever you add something, let's say this gentleman has a fine idea of developing something via AI. So the guy messages on the Adobe AI that I want to generate images for so and so purposes. The problem with that is that Adobe was using its AI from its users to train its model. So all the data that you guys are using, everything that might be even private, or maybe whatever stuff that you guys might be having about the development and all the core stuff is used by AI. So before us telling everybody, the AI automatically knows how to study the whole thing.
And that's what AGI speaks about.
Yeah,
AGI
and that's not even AGI right now. That's basic your models, LLM models. So if we actually come on the touch and everything part, I am honestly quite scared. The only reason is that
I deleted one of my searches, and turns out that it copied the whole thing from my Gmail into my other Gmail, and it showed me from that area. So,
Even the sensory
doing something like this.
even the IoT part. Now, when we say data sensory, I mean, I even work with the IoT people. What happens? IoT is all about billions and.
Yeah, please.
See, when you work on IoT projects, okay, it's all about a billion, trillion data points which is coming down. And you have Kafka and Splunk and everything stationed so good in the cluster with the Kubernetes, those millions and trillions of records getting processed every day, right? So even the data sensory point, the human touch, what we talked about, are going to generate those much data points. It will be processed anyhow. I will put, production with the running Kubernetes and the clusters and everything.
They even use the fingerprint for all the security purposes.
And that AGI will use that as a part of a model. An example I'll give you, I was part of a startup with a marine agency. We had around 200 people generating a pro forma invoices for what are the vessels coming down all over India, and that's a very big marine agency I'm talking about. Now 200 people are generating, just कि भाई उसको कितना पैसा लगेगा, I mean to come down to the port, to come down to कि इसको $50,000 चाहिए, इसको $2 lakh चाहिए, 2 दिन 3 दिन के लिए. If I use AGI model for this, that 200 people will be replaced by only 2 or 3. He has to just review. Vessels अगर आपके पास 1000 भी आ रहे हैं, तो 1000 डेटा पॉइंट पर दिन का 3 दिन आराम से काम कर सकते हैं. And I will put down with the AGI, it will process data so fast, we will not be able to compete in that way. Right? So that's a scary part. That 200 people who are working to generate that data will be replaced by 2-3 people who just has to review and has to respond.
You wanted to say?
Yeah, I wanted to say something to which
So the first point is what you said about collecting data. Google recently had a very bad experience with doing that. They just randomly collected data from Reddit to train their AI models. And what happened when people were searching for results like how do I cure my headache or something, it gave them an answer, why don't you try jumping off a cliff? Because that is what Reddit users with their sarcasm do. So these industries are kind of understood that you cannot just take out data and just give it to an AI. There has to be some kind of proofreading in between. So that is one thing. Second thing, the fear that you'll have with AI, that's the same fear that people had with the internet, with mobile phones, with everything else that came in the past. Okay, what you said, AI will not be that big, like it won't be that practical right now, maybe. But even mobile phones, when they came out, they were like so huge that were not practical. But now it's the thing that you need to have. So AI will also reach a point where it's very practical to use. But we, as humans, we need to understand that it's a tool. It will do things for us so that we can focus on other things. There are people out there, I mean really brilliant minds, who are working on turning us to like a type 2 civilization or something even beyond that. Elon Musk is trying to make us a multi-planetary species. So there are people who think way beyond where we are. We are like trying to safeguard ourselves. There are people who are trying to advance the human race. So it's always, something more. Maybe AI will help us reach somewhere else. Right now we're wondering, because of the population of Earth, we feel like, oh, if all the jobs go, what will other people do? But if we turn into a multi-planetary species, the population will kind of split. There'll be people on Mars. They'll have their own set of jobs. We'll have our own set of jobs. So it's a very, it's very advanced thought. A lot of people do have that ambition. I mean, I'm just talking of what other smart people are there. I mean, I'm in no way capable of doing something like that.
It's not feasible.
But there are things like, no, it's not feasible right now. But in the future, it will be.
We need nuclear, and Elon Musk said that.
No, so there are even talks of creating a Dyson sphere in the future. If you don't know what that is basically harnessing the energy of the sun. So all your energy issues, those will be resolved. So there are a lot of smart people out there talking about all of these things. It's right now where we are. Yes, AI does not pose a threat. It's in its infancy, but in the future, it might help us evolve as a species, evolve as humans. I've played a lot of games in my childhood, like Mass Effect and all, where humans are more like interplanetary species, we go from one planet to the other. But again, that's all a very futuristic thought. But yeah, I think AI can get us to that point in our lives.
And researching, I do most of the time. So we started using ChatGPT. And we started interesting ChatGPT to give him Python source code on something. He gave the response was fabulous. I mean, even we can read the code and understand what the code is doing. So he has been working with ChatGPT as a principal programmer in his company. And he just keeps feeding with ChatGPT, I want this output, I want this feature to be there, I want this sequence to be there. And ChatGPT has been giving him the output. Now that source code base of this has grown so big that he invests in stocks in Bombay purely on that source code. So the source code tells him today you buy this stock and if this value reaches this much, you sell this stock. And it's minted 1 year ago.
Great.
Maybe I get go after you. See it like he's loaded with thoughts.
I mean, if it's complex, I just give a example of my sister. Maybe Cassandra and Kafka and all those.
Okay, here is a different approach which anybody who is starting as of today, right, a startup who wants to reach out to masses would do, right? They don't have to buy their hardware. Just go to a cloud company, get into a subscription model.
It's cheaper to buy your hardware.
After you become holder.
Cheaper to buy hardware.
Cheaper to buy hardware.
Buy Azure, right?
कभी
Buy Azure.
AWS पे मत बनाना.
सही मतलब बहुत expensive है.
Okay.
When went down, what they said that we wanted to continue for more years, but because of infrastructure costs, we have to pull the plug. So I assume they were also on AWS. If you have your own servers, कितना लगेगा? 5 लाख के server आते हैं, AC चला गया, that's it. 2 server रख लो.
We can talk more about this, when we network. I can give you some ideas. But anybody who is getting started would like to spend their money on marketing, reaching out to masses, right? Let's assume you have 50 lakhs. What if I tell you invest 25 lakhs in just setting up your data center infrastructure so that you can run the product that you're running and use the 25 lakhs for doing marketing strategy, in reaching out. Would that be a good state, or using 40 lakhs for marketing and reaching out to the masses and just keeping a buffer of 10 lakhs for running the infra? Yeah. Both are possible. Maybe one works for a company, the other strategy might not work, but we can discuss on it. Talking about, let's use the same example which he gave, right? Fear is a thing which we think of as of today because we are humans. We will always think of, okay, everything is good as of today. I like the kind of life we are living as of today, and let things continue, right? What if I tell you, this is a question to you, what if I tell you I have come up with an aeroplane which is without engines? This is a recent invention that I did. Would you like to fly in that? You are the first one who would take a flight in a plane which is without engine.
No.
You would not, right? Why?
Why would I risk my life for something that has never been tested?
The first person who took that flight with engine also had the same thought. This is a cooked up story. But the fundamentals, the way we think is exactly the same, right? Because it's new, because I told it doesn't have engine. Your brain, which is wired to do so, immediately started thinking, hey, don't take that flight because there's no engine in it, right? That's what we humans do. And it's okay to be humans. We will only get to know what is in the future as we reach there. But with that approach, we will always have this mind, pata nahi. People talk about, VMware virtualization world when it was introduced. Everybody was like, "Arey kya kaun lega ye virtualized thing?" People would go buy physical servers, ye apna hai, and you can do whatever you want to do, right? But then came virtualization world. People who were able to adapt to virtualization became masters of TCP, ये वो सब कुछ कर लिया, पैसे कमाने लगे, सब कुछ हो गया, right? There was a time when people were doing storage and exchange administrators. Exchange, even today it's a big thing. That's the only way to resources communicate within the company, across the company, right? But do we see exchange administrators anymore? Anybody you know of who works as an exchange admin? So that same exchange administrator is doing something else today, right? He adapted to the new technology. So whoever is working as, you talked about entry-exit points would be changed and it would be completely driven by automated AIs, right? So people who are doing that job would take up something else. Yes. Just change your cash cows and wait for a better future.
So this was one thing which was generated by a creator, and I hope you liked the presentation.
So think everything as a skill, right? Like content generation is a skill, creating images is a skill, creating videos is a skill, and these are parallel skills.
Prompt is a skill.
Right?
Giving right prompt is a skill.
So that you will have to learn.
Yeah.
So to create such video, what is the actually right prompt?
And again blogs and all relating to AI. Yes, so if you want to check about like relating to the startups that are doing good in AI, then probably here you can find insights on it. These are recent blogs again, like 15th of July, so hardly last week. And that's one more resource. Then again, how many of you are using Google Trends? Probably if you are utilizing it. So AI is anyways a trendy word. And yes, of course, you can definitely like look for deep learning or again like machine learning, other stuff as all use cases. A lot many courses have been launched, so that's one way to again save your time probably. And anyways, like if you just search with hashtag, for example, hashtag image generation, AI image generation, so you'll find all the links relating to that. So that's again one tip for strategy.
One extension. Can you go on Chrome and type the same thing?
Sure.
List of general, just for maybe 10 seconds more.
Okay.
Maybe that might give us slightly better. Not against Microsoft.
Yeah.
but just because the search parameters that come out of Google is a list of AI tools. Just for fun. I mean, it's like, since we are closing this now, so
Yeah.
just go to images, and I'll take you to my favorite image. Yeah, the fourth image on the field. Yeah, that white one. Just the next. Now, this was such a great infographic. I mean, if you look at this, I've seen this maybe a year ago somewhere, and if you see that infographic, it's just enlightening, nothing less than that. So someone has put it together, gives me a tremendous amount. In fact, I'm here to find out if there are some good people who can help us compose AI for specific applications across the flowchart. There is a certain strategic flowchart which we have to follow, and I would love to have younger people joining us and doing something for us. I'm working on a whole grid of services, so something like that. So it's just the beginning of trying to find out what we can do with this and how much we can save with it. Obviously, that's in terms of time, effort, money, resources, everything.
How's the Josh?
Yeah.
पहले वाला AI था, दूसरा भी AI था, तीसरा भी eChai था, ठीक है? 3, 2, 1 and go. How's the Josh? AI. How's the Josh? AI. How's the Josh? eChai. Thank you.